Hello everyone. Today we are joined by Eileen Wood. She is the director for TISSEF, which is the Terra International Student STEM Fairs. She is currently working to bring rich STEM experiences to young people in urban and rural areas.
Text me. All right.
I will now pass on to Mary to speak to us today.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm just going to close the door of my office. I had a guest. I'll be right back.
That's okay.
So when do we open for your guests?
We are already live.
Oh, how wonderful. Okay. So are you able to see me talking right now?
Yes, we can see you and your screen.
Such a blessing, right? So I would like to share my screen and allow you to see a slideshow for now, and then later we'll talk in the question and answer time. I'm going to switch now and you will tell me if my screen is showing. It says Africa Science Buskers Festival.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Here we go. All right. So I first want to welcome everyone, the Buskers and your adult advocates, as you discover more about pre-collegiate STEM exploration. I'll wear 3 hats today. Most importantly, I'm a fair director, talking with young people about dreaming big, using the wonderful minds they were given. But I am also a science fair mom and a former classroom teacher. And in each role, I'll have something important to share with you and your adults today. Pre-collegiate STEM research has 3 important words in that phrase. Pre-collegiate means you're not waiting until college to take charge of your own learning. Research says you're not passively following the school curriculum with daily assignments. You are asking your own questions, and you are determined to find your own answers. And STEM is one of my favorite words. It talks about 4 things that are crucial. Are you able to see a screen now that has 4 yellow words on it? I'm waiting for the host to say.
Yeah, not yet. We can see.
You're still seeing Mr. Chakundi.
Yes.
All right. Let's go to another screen. All right, it's not doing the screen share. I'm going to stop the screen share. And now do you see a slide that has changed to STEM research?
Yes, we can.
Hallelujah, we now are on the same screen. So STEM research is something that can change your future, and it's a good thing to do while you're in school. Mentors, we've gotten back too far. I apologize that this has happened. So pre-collegiate STEM research, we talked about how important it is, and it involves science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So STEM research is your opportunity to, in high school, take something important to you and move forward as fast as you want. Mentors will cover both how to find them and how to take full advantage of the blessing of having them. Competitions, we're going to look at how you can multiply the impact of your work. And mindset is a gift I'm giving to you at the end of the talk today. So STEM, one of my favorite words, is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. STEM. And that's worldwide one of the big hot topics now. But now, enough with vocabulary. We're going to begin with the big why. Why should high school students undertake independent STEM research in the first place? I believe every person is born with gifts unique to them and important to them and those whose lives they will touch. Somewhere along the way, we discover them, perhaps on our own, perhaps with the help of other people, people who care for us, who teach us, who inspire us. But what happens if we ignore our gifts? What might we miss? Playing soccer with the Warriors, leading a grassroots world movement to reduce our carbon footprint, opening for Avant Chaka Chaka, modifying maize so it requires less water. If we wait, just like musicians and athletes, those of us eager to explore STEM would lose our opportunities. We have to seek ways to do our work now. Did Chaka Chaka not sing until she was discovered at age 19? Did Eliud Kipchoge just crawl until he ran for his first world record in 2003? No, neither should you. Neither should you wait to ask questions and use science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to find some answers and to find some more questions. Think of it this way. To get up a ladder, you must get up on that first rung and start climbing. The longer you wait to start, the longer it will be until you see the big view. And you have the potential to see far. Through my son's love of STEM, we both learned a lot about competitions and mentors. I'm going to share some of the story of Christopher. It starts pretty early in his life. One morning, I went into his room when he was a toddler, not 2 yet. And he cried out, "Mama, top, oh, be careful, electricity." That translates into, "Mother, be careful, stop. I've got the whole room wired for electricity." He had used yarn and tape and wired his entire room. Yarn hung across the entire space from walls to every piece of furniture, every shelf, his crib. I had to crawl under it all to give him his morning hug. When he started school, this same child wanted desperately to read and write, but learning disabilities and attention deficit disorder got in the way. But in 5th grade, he built a bridge. And here he is at our kitchen table with one of his early bridges. It was balsa wood, and he tested to see how much mass it could support. When he came home from the science fair, he was so excited. He said, "An engineer saw my bridge and said I was a good engineer. Mom, I'm not broken." He had finally found the place that he belonged. And he survived for the next 7 years by waiting for each fair day when he was among his peers, among others who loved engineering and reveled in mathematics, for his day when he was not broken. Doctors said he would never be able to read or write fluently, but this very broken kid who found out he wasn't now has a PhD and is currently designing a pilot plant as the next step in bringing his biofuels technology to commercial operation. What made the difference? He found mentors who came to believe in his dream. Mr. Argus, his first mentor, lived to see him receive his doctorate. He showed up in his wheelchair, determined to see his Christopher. The opportunity that mentors provide is unique. Mentors is a good word. They are good people, and they are great assets. Christopher's high school mentor went on to advise his doctoral research and is now chief executive officer of Christopher's company. Christopher acted upon his love of all things engineering, of building stuff out of cardboard and tape, of studying every bridge he saw or could find in books, of completing every math course he could convince someone he should take. And he connected with mentors. Think of mentors more as guides or launching pads or gateways like this picture, not as teachers. Mentors keep you and your test subjects safe as you chart unknown waters. Mentors listen carefully to your questions and can aim you in the right direction of what you need to learn next. Mentors may well let you skin your knees a little, but they will also prevent you getting concussions from banging your head against dead-end walls. Mentors, there's a pathway. Finding them is a lot like climbing that ladder I mentioned. Your first mentor is an adult you trust. The job or education of that person makes no difference. Your first mentor is going to walk through the first steps of your explorations. They will read about science fair projects on sciencebuddies.org with you. They will listen carefully as you talk about the ideas you have for a project. They will help you complete the safety paperwork required by your science fair. Your first mentor is the person who helps you build a solid foundation. Then, perhaps a second year, perhaps the next month, you and your mentor identify a STEM person who can advise you and help you get materials and information you need. Because you already have that first mentor, you have a person who can talk firsthand about your hard work and your strong motivation. With that, you can make the connection you need. So, you keep on working. You keep on learning. And now you have a partner and mentor number 2 who is eager to encourage you and can use their greater STEM knowledge to provide even better guidance. Take the time you need to dig deeply into the topic of your planned research. Now it's time to find the specialists in your field for your stage 3 mentors. How does a young person still in high school interest a veterinarian or a programmer, a mechanic or a psychologist in their project, or seek ideas from those people? The answer? By learning as much as you can about the actual work your target mentor does. Once a professor learns that you have read their latest paper, or a technician hears that you've been overclocking a computer for faster response times, or a farmer sees your harvest of maize from your own garden. Once these skilled people know that you have already made such an effort, they are much more apt to respond to your request for guidance. It's up to you. It's up to you to begin this mentor hunt. Now, close your eyes. Think of an adult whom you trust. Depending on where you are on the road of independent STEM exploration, this could be a neighbor. This could be a second stage person already familiar with STEM. This could be a third stage specialist. Keep your eyes closed. Imagine they are smiling at you as you approach. Okay, start your planning. How to invite your mentor to listen to your first questions. Mentor number 1, mentor number 2, mentor number 3, it makes no difference. You have the right to ask questions. So there's a logic to this process. Part of exploring is learning, and I call that filling your tool belt. Imagine that every class you take, every lesson from your teachers, is a tool to fill a tool belt for your life. Now, think about reaching for tools that aren't right on the table in front of you. Think about citizen science projects that are happening in your country or are happening worldwide, and you could partake of that experience right at home. Think of free STEM courses at MIT and Harvard and Adelaide universities. You can fill your brain with knowledge from the finest teachers in the world and not need tons of money. And if you start independent STEM research in high school, you can not only engage mentors to support you, but you can also use the myriad pre-collegiate competitions to boost you even further. Let's talk about the competitions. All right, you've decided to go on the hunt for your gifts and for your mentors. You know, I'm a science fair director, so you figure there's going to be more about my science fair, right? You are partially right. There are many high school STEM competitions across the world for which you could be eligible. What's amazing is that you can take your one project this coming year and multiply the benefits of all your work by submitting it to more than one competition. Let's look at a few of them. This is not an exhaustive list, but this is a capsule of some of the competitions, some of the opportunities that are out there to prove to the world the value of your mind. You know it. I know it. Your mentors and your fair directors and your teachers and your family, they know the gifts you've been given. You can use competitions to spread just how many people know how marvelous you are. Let's begin with the Science Buskers. So this is a gateway opportunity that you have with the Africa Science Buskers Festival. It allows you to become familiar with STEM and to find something that fascinates you. What a powerful gift Mr. Knowledge Chakundi and his team have given you with this. And so many buskers find ways to use their busker presentations to launch their first actual research or engineering design projects. Now let's look at the granddaddy of science and engineering fairs. At the top of the pyramid of science and engineering fairs worldwide, serving about 7 million students, ISEF gathers individual and team projects in 21 categories to compete for over $5 million in awards. The Regeneron International Science and Engineering Fair has a gateway where you live. Even competing in one of the affiliated regional fairs, the gateways, the Zimbabwe National Science Fair and MyTISA, for example, even competing them becomes a powerful tool in your future as you look for mentors, as you look for colleges, as you look for work, even as you look for investors when your idea is ready to become a company. Now, the Zimbabwe National Science Fair is that nation's affiliate with the world's international network of pre-collegiate science and engineering fairs founded in 1950, the year I was born. ISEF has affiliates worldwide. Many nations have their own affiliates. You'll be able to go to findafair.societyforscience.org to check about your country. Just like ISEF, both the Zimbabwe National Science Fair and mine include every imaginable field of STEM. So we welcome everyone. Now, TISF, the Terra International Student STEM Fair that I direct, serves middle and high school students from any country attending public, private, charter, parochial, or home schools if they are living outside the United States and cannot compete in English for possible ISEF advancement in their host country's fair, or if they lack access to a middle school STEM fair. Now, you should know, Mr. Chikundi has authorized Zimbabwean students to compete for in the ZNSF for their ISEF eligibility and get their Genius Olympiad eligibility by competing in TISF. So you already have 2 opportunities to present your work if you live in Zimbabwe. You will use that access at ISEF to find out if your country has an affiliate. If it doesn't, get in touch with me at TISF because we're your way. It's a virtual fair. You'll have no trouble. As long as you have access to a cell phone, you can compete in our fair. Now, parents and teachers, remember I said that I had that parent and teacher hat. For both the ZNSF and TISF, student safety is paramount. Teachers, parents, all the adult advocates for the young people here today. Student safety is paramount, so your biggest job is making sure every student consults with a qualified adult before they begin their experimentation or their design work. That's your big job, not making sure that their paper is shiny and their poster is shiny. It's making sure that everyone, students and subjects, will be safe. Okay, let's go on to more fairs. Genius Olympiad is Terra Science and Education's international high school project competition about environmental issues. Students compete in 7 general disciplines with an environmental focus: science, writing, business, robotics, art, music, and short film. You submit your work online, and then if it's accepted, you're part of this amazing competition. Teachers, here's a heads up for you. Genius can easily include every student and faculty member in your school. It's a great way to get the community engaged in the why of education, firing up students to use those tool belts to learn independently, just the way they will have to when they are adults. Now, the International Social Science Challenge for Youth covers all the humanities and social sciences. So it isn't just laboratory and engineering with machines. Just as TISF and the Zimbabwe Fair and ISEF include all the categories, not every competition does. So social sciences have their own. Sociology, international relations, economics, public policy, psychology, education, it goes on. It's the World Federation of United Nations Associations and the gifted and talented Silicon Valley innovators that sponsor this competition. And they invite high school students everywhere to submit proposals. The Imagine Cup is a global software and game design competition hosted by Microsoft. Teams create and build technology to solve the world's problems. And this one I include just because it's fun. Every year, the Rube Goldberg Institute says, we have a challenge. Go make the craziest machine you can to do what we tell you. So here, he wanted to have his head wiped, his mouth wiped with his napkin. And that's the Rube Goldberg machine. So if you want something really funny to do with a team of friends, or teachers, if you want a fantastic activity for the day after major exams when the kids are rubber-brained, everyone can draw a picture of the step and put them together on a big wall, and presto, you've created a Rube Goldberg machine. Now, mindset is the fourth thing that we're going to cover today. It's a great word. And for this, I'm going to turn off the slideshow and talk with you personally. Now you should see my face, yes?
Yes, we can see your face.
All right. So what I want to do is make sure that you take the gifts that you were given and the opportunities you have to overcome the challenges you have to become the best you can. So you're going to close your eyes for 30 seconds. And I want you to think about what you're doing 5 years from today. 5 years. I want you to close your eyes and put yourself in that place you imagine. I want you to hear what's happening. I want you to see what's going on in your imagination. I want you to smell what's happening around. I want you to feel the chair that you're in or the path you're walking. Make it so real that you're not sitting where you are right now. You're sitting there. And I'm going to tell you when to open your eyes. Open your eyes. Shh. Don't say a word. That dream can become your goal. So I have an assignment for everyone. I would like you to think of something you see when you wake up in the morning and you see it before you close your eyes at night. It can be a smudge on the wall. It can be a tree outside the window. It can be a notebook that you keep by your bed. Whatever. But when you see it, when you wake up in the morning, you look and say, what am I going to do today to get me closer to my goal? And then when you go to bed at night, you're going to look at the same thing and say, what did I do today that got me closer or didn't succeed in getting me closer? What will I change? What will I improve? What will I make sure I do again because I made progress? Your goal will change. I've had 5 careers in my life, but it will always be your dream. I believe you can achieve it. You can believe you can achieve it. Every mentor you engage, every teacher, every family member, every neighbor and friend, you don't have to share what your dream is. That can be very private, but you can draw upon their faith in you to move forward. So now we're open for questions. Rivarashe, would you take care of that, please?
Yes, thank you so much for your talk and for encouraging young people, especially people in high school, to get into STEM and into participating in science fairs and conquering their fears. So what advice do you have to someone who's in high school right now and who's afraid to start their journey in science fairs and is afraid to look for mentors or people to help them through their journey?
It is scary. It's not easy. That's when you do things like have that thing that you've set as your idea, your trigger every morning and your reminder every night. That's when you look at it and just keep saying, I can do it. I can make this happen. If you don't know where to start, Mr. Chakundi has a wealth of knowledge and experience, and he has utter faith in you. Talk with him, email him, Skype him, connect. You can do the same with me. I'm on LinkedIn. I have my email address, mewood@terraed.org, TERRAED.org. You can connect with us and say, I don't know where to begin. And working together will help you find the place to do that first step on your ladder. You don't have to worry about getting to the top. Each day, you do the next rung. That's how far you have to go that day. What's next, Vivarashe?
Thank you so much. And our next question is for those who have been participating in science fairs and who feel like there isn't anything more after what they've done, what words of encouragement to keep on going do you have for them?
Let me share Christopher's path because he participated in the same regional competition for 8 years. And his 4th year, he decided, I'm going to go to ISEF. And in 9th grade, he didn't go. And in 10th grade, he didn't go. And in 11th grade, he didn't go. And in 12th grade, he and his best science fair friend both went. But he had to just keep hanging in there. He did 2 things. One, he looked for something he hadn't done before. You don't always have to go up a ladder that goes in one way. If you've ever seen climbing walls, sometimes you have to go back and forth. You go chuk, 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 and then back a little and go chuk, 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 and then back a little and chuk, 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 chuk. That's okay to step back and say, I'm going to be a beginner again my sophomore year in high school, though I've been doing science fairs for 4 years. Everyone's a beginner. Let me tell you, when you do 5 careers in one lifetime, 5 times I was an utter beginner. But if you see a door open before you, if you see something on YouTube and you think, that is so cool, or you always get nasa.gov and you see what's going on there, or citizen science, and you say, I've seen that stuff. There's a nerdle thing that's citizen science, and you can say, on the mouth of our river, there are these tiny little plastic pellets. I've seen those. I can be part of that international research project. If you've been building bridges or you've been looking for biofuels, it's fine for 1 year to say, I'm going to start something new. The point is to keep moving forward. And that can be all kinds of jiggles, but you just keep growing. Next.
Thank you. That's all that we have for today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to speak to us and to give us words of encouragement about how high school students, no matter how small their idea, can get into science fairs and, go up the ladder and use their ideas to change the world. So thank you so much for spending time with us today and have a lovely rest of your day.
Yes, and my best to everyone at Buskers. And thank you, Rurasha.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.